Hi, so today we have Nu and Niku with us from Tech Connect. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for putting aside some time to chat to us. We love hearing our customers' stories.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Hi.
Thanks.
Great. So briefly, could you just introduce us to Tech Connect? Tell us a bit about your business, what you do.
We're based in Komatipoort on the eastern side of South Africa on the Mozambican border. We're about 4 kilometers from the Mozambican border. So obviously, very rural area, very hot. Average temperature today is probably about in the 40s. So very tough doing business here. We've got a client base of about 700 to 1 million clients covering 127 square kilometer area. Municipality is called Nkumazi. And because it's rural, a lot of farming communities and things like that, we just do fixed wireless. We haven't got into the fiber route yet. Obviously looking at it at a later stage, but for now, growing rapidly, trying to expand our footprint as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, little
Okay,
background.
really
Both of us moved to Komatipoort about 9 years. September, I think it will be 9 years. Competition for each other started 2 IT companies and did our own thing. And I phoned him for some help. I wasn't in town picking up stock. He sorted out my issue with a client. Next week, he phoned me. I sorted out the issue for one of his clients. He wasn't in town. And yeah, we had a coffee.
And we made a deal that day.
Yeah,
we made a deal that day.
Wish it was a beer, but we went for a coffee. And decided, listen, let's pull together, work together. And over that first cup of coffee, we said we're only going to do IT. You'll take the servers and the mails and stuff, and I'll do the networks. And we shook on we are not going to supply internet.
Yeah, we're not going to become tower techs.
We don't want phone calls middle of the night, and we don't want the stresses of keeping everybody's internet up. And about after the first year, with our maintenance clients on retainers, we had a look at our stats, and 90% of our call out and the work we were doing is we were just phoning other ISPs and just trying to be the middleman, handling the IT side, and then finding out, okay, it's not an IT issue, it's a connectivity issue. And then we had the harebrained idea to break the pact and decide, listen, we're going to be an ISP.
But we're only going to take 40 clients.
Yeah, we're
only going to take our corporate clients. That's it. So that's ended up to what now?
550?
Well, we've got 550 clients and 720 lines. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow. Awesome. So now you are being called at all sorts of hours.
I've got a couple of grays extra.
Okay. Yeah, but this is how things work. But it's really great that you guys were able to work together and develop that synergistic relationship. It's awesome.
No, it's nice because Niku has the CCNA and I've got like the server experience. So it's a nice synergistic relationship, definitely.
Oh, that's fantastic. And could you tell us how many people are on your team?
We've got 10 people on the team at the moment, of which 2, we call them the Arabians. So everybody's horses in our company. Then we've got the Clydesdales. The Clydesdales is our tech maintenance team and our install team, of which there is 4. And then 2 marketing and sales ladies. And then me and Niku and some other guys doing computer work and call outs and things like that.
Okay, wow, yeah. It's quite a small team servicing that many customers.
Yeah, so basically what happened is when we decided to be an ISP, we still aligned ourselves that we didn't stop the IT work. So we've positioned ourselves with our competition where a lot of ISPs, and I'm really not knocking anybody, is if the connection is slow, they would then, we've seen it in our area, is that the tech would go out, he'd unplug everything in the network, do a speed test, show the client, listen, you are getting what you're paying for, and they plug everything back and they leave, and then it becomes an IT issue. And then the client has to find a IT tech. So all our techs and the IT guys on site in the office we handle that part. And then with the tools that we've put in place, even our admin ladies are already assisting with logging into a router, trying to see what is pulling the bandwidth and trying to sort out the IT issue. If it's an update that's a Windows update that keeps failing and keeps hogging the bandwidth, the admin lady or whoever the standby tech is can then log the call, organize a remote session, and then one of the IT techs sorts that out. And then one of the sales pitches is we give all our current clients an hour free IT support.
Yeah, that's one of our 5 points in our framework, that we actually upsell our services to our clients, because we offer them after hours remote support live, not a bot or a call that's being logged. Level 1 and level 2 tech support available on that. We offer them obviously like something like Whalebone to make sure that they don't go to phishing sites, and keep them safe there. We offer them the Splynx app, which is amazing for them, because now they can immediately reconcile their account online, don't have to pay cash and wait for somebody to reconcile that account for them. Preseam, which helps them with their buffering, because we can't give fiber-like speeds, which is a myth anyway to us. Latency, it's all about latency, and if we can keep that latency down, then we know they're not going to buffer. And that's our 5-system framework. And then obviously the 5th one being the IT supports, and they love that.
Wow, so you guys are like a one-stop shop. That's fantastic.
Correct. Yeah, we'll even wash your car and change your oil.
That's lovely. No, but I love the way that you're so customer-centric. That's really, really great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, word of mouth for your marketing is amazing then, because you're giving people the service that they actually need.
Look, it took us
that's really great.
5 years to get to this stage. We realized that it's all about the product and then going out and marketing it. Because if you have a rubbish product and market it, you're just going to get negative reviews. And that's actually one of our sales points as well, is please just give us a review, you know?
That's great. Really, really great. Can you tell me a little bit about your team's processes prior to using Splynx?
Look, we had a product called Sonar, American product. So it basically was the same as Splynx, except no local support, no zero integration, no invoicing, no VAT invoicing. Our finances were shoddy. We couldn't do reconciliations. Should I go on? So Splynx touches every bit of everything that we have. It touches finances, ops, marketing, client nurturing. Splynx touches everywhere.
How many different systems did we go through just for scheduling ticks?
Correct.
I think we went at one stage, we would change almost every Friday, and the poor techs were sitting in a Friday meeting like, another change, another system.
Let's try Google Calendar. Well, why don't we try, you know, Outlook? So yeah.
Okay, so lots of pain points that like a process of trial and error to try and find out what was working. So
Correct.
Multiple systems as well, not just Sonar. You had to have additions to try and achieve what you needed.
Correct.
Okay, and the costs associated before using Splynx?
It was about the same, right? I think we paid per subscriber a minimum of 200 subscribers. Yeah, so it was roughly the same.
Okay, that's good to know. And did you have concerns when you were onboarding or considering onboarding with Splynx?
Yes.
And what were they?
So my main concern, Nico always told me, was not a concern, and that was our integration with Preseam had to go smoothly, because we couldn't go back to MikroTik queues. There was no ways I was going to go back to that. And Nico kept on telling me, look, his nephew's using Splynx and his friends are using Splynx and everybody. So Nico visits with all the other WISPs in the country, and he has lots of friends that are WISPs. And my primary concern was the Preseam integration.
Yeah, so it's just the way that on the back end, the way our connection to the client was working with Sonar was completely different. It was a major change. But yeah, so obviously we did our homework, and even before we spoke to Splynx, we spent time on a current Splynx client.
We dev'd it twice, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's good to know. So you did your research before jumping in. Yeah.
So it was the other WISPs that told us to go Splynx.
Yeah. And to be honest, being in the trenches, as you can see, there's no development area. It's you're changing on a live system, and I must say the changeover.
Well, yeah, it was smooth.
It was smooth. I think maybe,
thanks to Chris.
Yeah, Chris
Thank
was
you.
amazing.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris was amazing.
Very calm
Fantastic.
guy. I don't know how he stays so calm.
Yeah, we went off twice and we had like mini heart attacks and the phones are ringing in the background and Chris was like all cool and calm. Listen, we got this, don't worry. And everybody else is on the phone and we sitting and concentrating and trying to get stuff working. And he's like, no, I've seen this before. Don't worry. Okay, we're going to change this.
He was amazing.
Sort that out.
No, we messed up we swapped our Radius account IP addresses and our client radio IP addresses. So.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, you had assistance with Chris. That's fantastic. I will pass that on to him.
And
that's really great. Yes. Kudos and bonus points.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did you have to make any changes to your business processes that you weren't anticipating when you moved over to Splynx?
Nope, none whatsoever.
I'd just say it just made the current processes that we had just made it so much easier with having everything centralized in one spot.
Yeah, not different different silos of systems. So it was smooth. Perfect.
Yeah, so no process changes. It just everything got streamlined, if I could put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic, because that is one of the things, to try and have everything centrally managed and controlled.
One of the big things for us was a very major improvement is we were sitting with the CRM and the management tool and handling everything and package changes, whatever, on one side, and then getting that through to our accounting system.
Zero was big.
The poor admin ladies were working hours and hours on end, and month-end billing runs were crazy. That cutting of clients that weren't paying was a manual process because it got insane. So obviously Chris again with Samantha, our accountant, between the two of them, I think it maybe took 2 weeks and just to sort out all the finer nitty-gritties with getting the bank and the accounting system and Splynx all together, and it's been a dream since.
Okay, so it sounds like there was an initial bit of growing pains and maybe a bit of time to get things not tinkered, but to get them configured correctly. And now are you finding that a big time saving?
No, about just on the zero integration, 20 plus hours a month.
Sure.
Zero was the big time saver. Zero was actually the decision that's why we went for Splynx, because of the zero integration.
Okay, so it kind of sealed the deal for you.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, well, our accountant is a contractor. So, I mean, if you look at that, we've got a saving in terms of her monthly hours.
Yeah, the monthly invoice run would take 20 hours plus. Now it takes half an hour.
And most of it's automated in any case.
And the problem is we were doing API calls to Zero to create those invoices, and Zero started throttling us because we created more than 5 API calls per hour. So we had to batch that as well. No, it was a mess.
Yeah. Difficult to control things when you've got to do it like that. Yeah. Okay, well, that's really great to hear that, you know, it's assisting you. Obviously, the financial side of things is why we're all in business at the end of the day. So yeah, that's great. Okay. Then, so you told me that you heard about the product through colleagues in the ISP industry. Were you comparing any alternatives when you were considering moving away, or was it just
tons? UISP, Fox, Wisp Fox, Datatal, open source software, UISP, CRM,
Minis.
Yeah, tons. Honestly, probably more than 20.
Okay. And did you went with Splynx because you saw that it was going to achieve everything that you needed to? Was it very different to the other offerings?
Yeah, it was actually nice and clean. That's what I liked about it. Plus, everything we needed was integrated. That was the most important thing. There were no Zapier calls or anything that I needed to get the system working. And then, Niku was
a few things that popped up on my side was just having a look at one screen. You're seeing all the green connected clients. scrolling down or just filtering, you can actually see clients that are down. That was like amazing. I spent hours on end trying to keep spreadsheets with available IPs to use. This is all, it's there.
The IPAM is built in.
The IPAM was one of the big selling points as well. And I think the fact I've got a family member running his own business as well, also on Splynx, he was on it before us, being able to talk to somebody that's already using it. And it's sometimes easier just to pick up the phone. Have you struggled with this before? It's almost faster than getting through to a help desk, because it's so small, it's a learning curve, and you don't want to bother log a call for something that's small and minute, because maybe we haven't listened to that part of the training yet. So yeah, it's always nice using something that somebody else is already using.
And there is a lot to the system, so there's a lot of things to learn, and I guess the best way to learn is trial and error, and you figuring out things as you go. So that is the approach that we take, which I'm sure you're aware of as you were part of the deployment process. So you did mention logging tickets. So I just wanted to ask, what has your experience been like with our support team?
Yeah, the support team's been brilliant. They've always been on point. They've always helped us and guided us in the right direction. I need to actually just talk about one person, and I think his name is, let me just have a look. I'm actually going into the tickets here. Niku or Nikov. But he's been really, really excellent for us. And especially when it came to like doing custom API calls and things like that. He's pointed us in the right direction. So the tickets and the way that, and if we have like a very complex issue, we just pop them a loom so they can watch the video, check our screen out, and that's brought the support times down a lot as well.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that tip as well, so our other customers can possibly make use of that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then decision making with moving over to Splynx, it was the two of you, I'm guessing. Okay. All right. Great. All right, then let's talk a bit about your customer success. So have you noticed that there's been a reduction in customer churn, or has it stayed the same roughly?
Most definitely. 2022 was at 7%, 2023 was at 5%, and this year we're sitting on 3%. So customer churn,
wow, that's really great.
What we've seen, and we were worried about 2 years ago, there was a major fiber rollout to the residential area in our main town. Two rollouts, two different companies, and we were obviously worried about that. And so we've been tracking churn in terms of, okay, who's leaving us for another supplier, or who's just maybe moved away, or the company's closed down, or whatever. And I can confidently say in the last at least year, we'll call it 18 to 24 months, we've not lost a single client to a competitor.
Our initial churn was due to the fiber cuts and the marketing that they were doing, and now it's clients leaving and moving, physically moving to
we had 3 companies that closed down.
Yeah,
that's really interesting though. It's great that you guys have been tracking that and then seeing the difference between wireless and fiber, and as you say also, I don't know, the marketing that other companies do. It's interesting to be able to have a look at that.
It's difficult doing being the wireless supplier, and then a fiber company rolls out, and as they're installing the infrastructure, because they're going through somebody's premises, or they need to plant a pole or something in a premises, it's then, okay, but we'll give you internet for free, or for a year for free, or whatever, if we can just use your premises and have a gum pole standing there with the fiber running. So I mean, that client you're losing, because he's getting it for free,
back,
and they are actually coming back.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting to know. And I suppose also when they're busy rolling out the fiber, there's the visibility of them being there, the presence.
A whole marketing team with flags and gazebos and buckies and.
And as I think you also rightly mentioned, the misconception that fiber is superior to wireless. So that's interesting. Just the fact that they're returning to you.
Yeah, it's been so difficult. We actually, did a whole landing page on that at ineedinternet.co.za. So if any WISPs want to go have a look there, how we fighting the fiber propaganda, go have a squiz at ineedinternet.co.za. And that is how we're handling all the clients. The very first question is, do you have fiber? And we just refer them to that website.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's really a helpful tip for our other customers using wireless or providing wireless. Okay. So can you measure any increases in revenue or growth with using Splynx?
Yeah, so basically 2022, I'm just trying to remember these numbers. Our ARPU went up from, ARPU went up from 475 to 702 per user. Our turnover went from 325 to 465. And yeah, so not big. WISPs are gonna laugh, but haha, we're sitting in a very, very nice, quaint little town, and you are not. So we're not big by any stretch, you know, but yeah, definitely it's gone up probably by 33-40%.
That's really great. Wow, that is great. Definitely growth by switching over. Okay. And then just to talk a little bit about the deployment, you said it was relatively painless. How did you find it? Were you supported throughout the process? Any comments on that?
To be honest, there it was. We spent, I think, almost about a month.
We did our
pre-prepping with Chris, holding our hands.
We were very stressed.
Yeah, we were very, very stressed.
That something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. And in terms of, like I say, it's a live system. So they, and obviously being a newish company in the area, you don't want downtime, and we're doing our best to be the best supplier. And now, so obviously we let the clients know this is a big day coming, major upgrade, please bear with us. And then with Chris, I think it was about, we went through a first month of prep, and then something major on our side changed, and then we moved the deployment on for another 2 months, and we went through another month of prep, having everything ready. I think we did 2 dry runs, importing addresses and so on and so forth. So on the day of switchover, all things considered, we made a major mistake. We swapped over, had 2 addresses the wrong way around, radio and TPE. We had the wrong way around. We could quickly stop everything, revert back, change those, and everything was sorted.
Look, we were used to only getting support after 4 because it was an American-based company, Sonar. So that's what we were worried about. And then all of a sudden, Chris is available all hours of the day. Look, fellow WISPs, don't bother Chris that much, please. But available all the time, you know, and it was really amazing hearing his calm tone. He was like very calm.
Oh, that's really great. Reassuring. Yeah. Because obviously, as you said, Nico, when you're dealing with a live system with actual customers, you cannot afford things to fall over. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And then just in general, how have you found the relationship working with Splynx?
No, it's been amazing, especially in terms of support. Like I said, that's been fantastic. We've always been helped whenever we've had problems. And yeah, it's been great.
I'd actually try to word it this way, where before Splynx, we knew we were dealing with Sonar because there were issues and there was stuff that so Sonar would pop up in meetings, and the previous systems, the name would pop up in meetings. So I'd like to put it this way, we're not even talking about Splynx at this stage in meetings or anything in the company. No news is good news, because it's just working. It's not there's no okay, oh, we have to sort this out, or this is a problem or whatever. It's just running. It's
yeah, the previous Splynx issue that popped up was our radius failover server that we had to install. So that was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really great to hear. So Splynx isn't a swear word at Tech Connect.
Not at all. Not at all.
Great.
No.
That's good. That's good to hear. In terms of Splynx's value-added offerings, there's the usual license, as you're aware of. What other products? You mentioned Whalebone. Is there anything else that you're making use of?
Yeah, so we're using PowerLinks, a couple of hotspots dotted around. The ultimate idea is to our fixed wireless clients, give them free tokens and vouchers to the hotspots as well, so they've got more coverage. So PowerLinks has been good for us. That's really been nice. Not using it to its full potential yet. That's going to happen next year. And yeah, that's about that. The app, obviously, the clients are using, integrated into Netcash for instant payments. PowerLinks is integrated into Netcash for instant payments, using Click-a-Tell for our SMSs. So if there's issues, a general issue, we can communicate that via WhatsApp to our client base, and then narrowing down to sectors, we can use Splynx to SMS them. These 15 clients are affected. So all of that we do. Yeah.
Okay, so WhatsApp is external though to Splynx at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But we've got that integrated as well, using the API calls.
Okay, great. That's good. That's good to know. Because we are busy developing that, and it's going to be out pretty soon, hopefully.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, great. With Whalebone, just on that, how are you making use of that? You mentioned blocking phishing and what have you for your customers. Have you noticed a difference?
Yeah, major difference. We actually try and be proactive and phone the clients and say, look, there's an issue. We've actually have a little video that we just send them, a quick 2-minute video. We're not browsing, or we're not monitoring what they're browsing. We don't know what they're doing, but we can see that there's DNS security issues popping up. So do you want us to quickly do an AnyDesk and just clean up what you have, or just bring your laptop or your device to the office, and then we'll have a look at it here. So it's also a bit of an upsell.
Okay, that's great. Good to hear. And do you have any advice for Splynx, or anything just in general that you'd like to say?
Sorry, Nick, I'm butting in here, but I spend a lot of time with the guys. Loom, you guys really, it literally takes 90% of the mail and the ticketing traffic away, because now the guy can actually see, I can just show on the screen what I mean. So Loom will really, really help a lot. And then the APIs I battled a bit with until Nicola, I'll get his name right, stepped in and just gave me do all the steps how to do this. So I was going onto the forums and asking for help there. If the guys aren't using the APIs, that's not an issue at all. And the Loom we just use for our clients as well, and just we found that works a lot. And then one thing that we did have with Sonar was a visual line of sight test. So about 37% of our truck rolls are due to line of sights which aren't successful, which is a problem. So yeah, having a visual line of sight on Splynx, and tower coverage isn't integrated anymore. So Sonar had this visual line of sight, which is really, really cool. But we've just gone and subscribed to tower coverage, so it's an extra process that we have to do. But that's it. That's it. Sorry, it sounds like a mouthful, but
not at all.
Really much.
Not at all. That's really useful. That's useful stuff for us, and it's we're always looking at improving things. So yeah, that's good to know, and I will definitely pass that on to our team.
Excellent.
Okay. So you've mentioned what you basically changed or improved. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, for us to pass on to our team or to other ISPs, just in general?
Yeah, I just want to tell the team in Ukraine, stay strong. Giving them New Year's wishes, and you guys are the best. Honestly, you're growing as well. I can see you up to 700 WISPs, and there's a reason for that. And hands down, we've tested everything. Honestly, we've tried everything, and Splynx beat the competition in South Africa. I can only speak in South Africa. I know what's happening here, and it's given us the competitive edge over our competitors. And I really laugh at the guys that say, have you seen the price of Splynx? My next door neighbor is an ISP, and he says, it's so expensive. And I'm laughing. And I'm saying, literally, your invoices aren't going out. I know they aren't, because your clients tell me that. And it's been our competitive edge.
Well, that's great. That's really great.
Honestly, I'd say anybody starting a WISP or anybody that's running a WISP currently that's thinking, listen, how can I improve? I'd say Splynx and Proceed. If you do those two,
now
you sort it ASAP, as soon as you can.
Yep. Don't worry about the cash flow. Go borrow the money. Go
Yeah.
steal the money. Just Splynx and Proceed.
In 9 years, that has been the two biggest turning points in our business was Splynx and Proceed.
Correct. 100%.
Wow. Wow. That's great. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are super busy. It was lovely to catch up and hear a little bit more about you guys and what you're doing and how successful things are going. And I wish you all the best with the future.
And there's
load shedding.
There's load shedding. But we have battery backups. Edith, thank you so much for this opportunity, and please send my regards to all the guys there and all the girls, and thank you for everything you guys do for us.
Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.